everyone. Welcome to the second episode of You Can Have It Too. This show is brought about by Ladies Fund, which is a platform for professional women and entrepreneurs to network and get to meet and know other amazing women from around the world. And this show in particular is about the complete woman who has her own business, her family, her friends, and what she can teach us from her own success. So, our guest for this evening is Lubna Lakhani. She is the CEO of Raintree Spa, which is one of the best, most relaxing places in town to be on any given day. She has two branches of the spa and she supervises 50 employees. She's won several awards for her work and is known to be an expert in the area of beauty. So I'll bring Lubna on board so she can tell you about herself in her own words. Welcome, Lubna.
Hello. Hi, how are you?
So, Lubna, please describe yourself in your own words.
Okay, so first let me start by saying that thanks for having me here. Thanks for including me in this platform. I have been connected with Ladies from almost the start, supporting Tara in all the endeavors that she's been doing. And I feel really privileged to be a part of this amazing platform where I can reach to many other women and other people looking for help or inspiration or whatever it is. So just give me a minute. I need to just adjust my light.
So, to tell you something about Lubna's spa, if you've had a long, exhausting day, that is the place to go to put your feet up, to get the best massage in town. And the smells there are beautiful, the sights there are beautiful, and you feel you're in heaven. You forget Karachi altogether once you enter Raintree Spa. And this is the brilliant lady behind it. So, Lubna, your story. Do describe yourself.
See, okay, I'm going to describe myself. I mean, simply speaking, I'm a mother, a wife, an entrepreneur, as you said, and a friend. These are the four most important jobs of my life, the four most important things that I give priority to. That's what makes me, my kids make me, my work make me, my friends make me. And of course, all the childhood experiences, the brought up that I've had plays a huge part in what I am today, plays a huge part in what I feel about life and what I feel about my work and what I feel about, my general ideas in life. They all come down from this whole path, the life that I have lived and, the experiences that I have had. I love being around my family. I love being around my friends, and I absolutely and completely am in love with my work as well. Even now, after 12 years of having Raintree, it still excites me. It's still my passion number one. And I love interacting with my clients. I'm the kind of person who, before Raintree, was actually an introvert. And I had friends, but I was not very outgoing. But when I started Raintree, that's when I changed myself. I worked towards being a more extrovert kind of a person, somebody who's ready to talk to anybody at a drop of the hat. And that's what I do with my clients. I'm in touch with my clients all the time. They are very close to me. They mean the world to me. So, to describe me, I would say that it's work, it's family, and it's fun with friends.
So, did you know that you were going to go into this line? Like at 12 years old, did you know you'd have your own spa? And what drew you to this particular profession?
Okay, so when I was 12 years old, I knew one thing. I knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I knew that I was going to be, at that time, if you would have asked me, a businesswoman, I knew that. I didn't know that I would be in this particular field as such, but since I was born and brought up in a family which was completely self-owned business people from way, way back, I really do think that it runs in my blood. And it's something that I learned as a kid, that this is what having a business is all about. So yes, I knew when I was 12 that I was going to be a businesswoman. I knew when I was 12 that I was going to be an entrepreneur. It might not have, the direction was not exactly which type and what, but I knew in my mind and I knew in my heart, and that's why I even got my education in business administration, that I wanted to be self-employed and give opportunities to others. How I stumbled upon the beauty industry or the spa industry was, there are little, incidences in my life that propelled me towards this field. One of them was that when I was in Canada, I was doing my high school in Canada, and I remember that that was roughly the time when Mac was launched, and they used to give free classes whenever they would launch a new line of makeup, and I would make it a point to try to attend those sessions, and that's where my passion of makeup and self-care and grooming started. Then later in life, I got the opportunity of having grooming, self-grooming classes. For We started off with by doing it for HBL, we did it for Emirates, and we did it for some other companies, and that was before Raintree started. So that's how I stumbled upon self-care and self-grooming, and how important being well groomed is in life, and how important it is to look your best, to be treated right by people. So as I was saying, that these are little incidences in life that propelled me towards this eventual destination where I am today. And then, as it would happen, that some years back, exactly 12 years back, we stumbled upon an opportunity to have a little space of our own in a shop in a mall, in Forum Mall. And that was a time that I believe that there were no other spas in Pakistan, maybe one or two other places, but no real spa was here. And the focus was all at that time. The focus was giving you the service. The focus was never self-care. The focus was never, come connect to yourself or about relaxation as such. It was not like you're getting a pedicure because you want to relax. It was, you're getting a pedicure to get your feet cleaned. And that's where we entered and changed the dynamics of self-care in Pakistan. And we opened up from a very, very little place. We just had 4 chairs. And the concept behind it was that it was in a mall. So when you are shopping and you feel tired, you need a quick pickup, you come to us and we'll give you the massage and, relax you. We were one of the first places to have a tagline, which was relax, rejuvenate, because that was our aim, that you come to us, yes, we will give you a service, we will do your pedicure, we will do your manicure, but while doing it, we will relax you, we will rejuvenate you, so that when you go back into the world, you are a different person, a more relaxed person. To achieve that end, what we did in that little space was that we made it green. We packed it up with plants. We had fountains so that you could hear the beautiful gushing of water. We used to play, we still do play amazingly soothing music, have all kind of essential oils burning, and we did a study up on which oil would be the best to relax. So we would burn exactly those oils. And then of course, we would serve you amazing drinks. We were one of the first ones to start serving things like mint lemonade and lychee cooler to our clients, and had a full-fledged menu of drinks. So that's how I started my journey with Raintree, and I was absolutely overwhelmed by the response that I got. I mean, at that time when we started Raintree, truthfully speaking, forget about having 2 branches. I didn't even think at that time that I would actually move out of this small space and have a single branch. But it was the encouragement that I got from my clients, the feedback that I was continuously getting on how I need to increase my chairs, how I need to add in more services, that even propelled me towards opening my very first branch.
So tell me right now, to what extent are you involved in everything and to what extent do you delegate? Because running two branches is probably quite complex on a daily basis. And to what extent do you provide the services yourself?
Okay, so I would definitely say one thing that, I would not want to start by saying how and what I'm doing right now. I would want to start by saying how and what did I do when I started this place. The reason is that I want people to know that to have a successful place, you need to work hard. If I tell you just today's stuff, that would not be the complete story. So the message that I want to get out there is that at different levels of your business, at different times of your business, you need to act differently. So when we started Raintree all those years ago, Amreen, I was the one who was literally doing almost everything from opening shop at 10 a.m. to closing shop at 10 p.m. because the shop used to be inside a mall, so we used to be open for longer hours. Of course, in the middle, I was also going home, and in the middle, I was also picking up my kids and dropping them to their various activities and going back and checking up on them. But I would be the one to open and close it, keep an eye on the accounts, train the girls, hire the girls, make sure that the clients are getting what we want them to get. So that the dream that we had for Raintree, the ideology of Raintree was actually achieved, and that my workers knew what we required out of them where Raintree was concerned. So for the first few years, I would say I was extremely hands-on, extremely involved, almost doing, a lot. If not doing things myself, I was definitely a big part of it. And then slowly, gradually, when I knew and I had the faith in my workers that they are now trained to, follow what Raintree is about, follow that lead that I have given them, is when I started delegating. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, I have been so blessed that there are some workers of mine who have stuck out with me since the start. And
That's
though
great. It's
without,
always
yeah,
good to
yeah,
have
because
like
without them, there is no possibility. Because see, I alone cannot do it all. I
true.
know that.
It becomes a
We
lot.
need to delegate for sure. So now, after years of training them and knowing that they're loyal with me, they understand the theory behind Raintree, what kind of service we need to give to the clients. I have started delegating, especially since now I have about more than 50 people working with me at Raintree, and we have two branches now. So there was no way that I could do everything myself now. So yes, now definitely a lot of the jobs are delegated. A lot of there have been heads created in different departments who now hire, and not only hire but train, and but even now, once their final training is done, it is me who will test a new girl before she steps out onto the floor, before she is presented to the clients. And only if she passes my test is she allowed to be handling clients. So I still definitely am involved. Once in a while, I have meetings. I have my scheduled meetings every 15 days where I sit down with my girls and I remind them of what Raintree is about, the theory behind Raintree, the ideology of Raintree, and what we expect out of them. So yes, that is an ongoing process that will never end. I will never step out of Raintree and completely hand it over, but I have delegated to a huge extent to my trusted workers.
So I can see all the passion you feel for your work coming through and how dedicated you are to it. But tell me a little bit about your family now and how you balance out your three children, husband, and family, and what is their role been in all this?
So, Amreen, my youngest was just a year old when I started Raintree. And I am just like I am very hands on at work, I'm also very hands on at home. I'm a very hands on, very involved mom, to the extent where my kids, to a certain extent, find me nagging kind of a mom. You're always on our back. Can you back off? Can you trust us? I mean, I'm trusting you, but I'm not backing off. I'm always going to be there doing this to you. So I, mashallah, have three kids. My eldest is 19. She just graduated from her A levels, about to start university. And my youngest is just turned a teen. So we have a new teen in the house. And mashallah, I am extremely proud of all three of my kids, my daughter, my son, and then my daughter. They have turned out to be such beautiful human beings, such caring people with their own personalities. I remember you once asking me that, would you want your kids to be like you? You know, and I thought of that question and I was like, no, I don't want my kids to be like me. I want my kids to be like them. I want them to be them, and I want them to have their own unique personalities, and I want them to be better than me and achieve more in life than I have and be happier and all of that, just like any other mom does. So my kids mean the world to me, and they are top of the priority list. That is what I have kept always, that they come number one.
But so
They
have there been
are,
any challenges, Lubna, in doing this? Like three children, a business? Like tell me some funny stories or some stressful moments that so many other women will identify with where everything went wrong that day.
well, I'll tell you a secret or two, and I hope that none of my clients are listening into this secret, because what the funny stories that have happened is that at times when I would not have a driver, okay, so till my girls were very young, I would not allow them to be traveling alone with the driver, right? I would have to be in the car present for them to be going anywhere. And Amreen, I hope I have not done that to you. But even if I had, I know that I did a good job. But a lot of times, what would happen is that I'm doing a haircut, and between haircuts and blow dries, I have actually rushed out, picked up the kid from school, dropped them to another space, and come back in time to check the final cut, once the blow dry was done. Can you believe it? Like, I have actually done that so many times, Ambreen,
Oh
and the
my
client
goodness.
would never find out. The good thing was that my kids' school is close to work. So I would do the cut. And while the girl is doing the blow dry, I have gone, picked up the kids, drop them at home or drop them to wherever they want and be back in time, because I'm not the kind of hairstylist where I would just do the cut and vanish. I want to see the end product. I want to see if I've done a good job and if it needs a touch up. So I would actually be back after before even the blow dry has ended. So yeah, I've had to do things like that. I've had to manage and juggle. A lot of times my kids have come in with me to work, even though they absolutely hate it. And they have been dragged around with me. So yeah, of course you face challenges. Of course it's not all easy and all of that. But having said that, Ambreen, what does make it easy is that when you love what you do,
Yes,
and
I
you
agree.
love the kids too, right? So when they are both the passions of your life, then it doesn't feel like a burden, and you, after that day when you have juggled so much in one single day, that you're like, whoa, I must be superwoman today. I was a superwoman today, and because you have done so much. You have done haircuts from one end, you have gone, picked up the kids, you have dropped them at that place, then you went home, quickly fed them, then you're back at work, you did this, you did a makeup, now you're going back to home, you're going to read them a story, you're going to feed them food, put them to bed, and then later go out in the evening with your husband and have fun with your friends. So all in a day's work. It's during quarantine I realized that, oh my God, there are so many hours to a day. I can do so much. There's because everything had just dropped out of the sky and stopped, and so there have been so many challenges. But as I said, what helps is that you love what you do,
That's very
right?
important.
Because
That's
if you love what you do, then it's not a burden on you. Then it's the
yes.
passion of your life. It excites you. I'm so blessed to be one of those people who absolutely loves what they do. And that's why I even have dreams about Raintree. You know, just like I have dreams for my kids, I have
That's
dreams
what's
for Raintree. And I wake up and I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, I need to put this in writing before I forget, you know. So I walk, talk Raintree, I walk, talk my kids. And they're both very integral part of me. And where my kids are concerned, they think that I'm a balanced mom. I hope they think I'm a balanced mom, you know. So that's how it is, you know.
How do they feel about your work? Are they proud of the fact that you have a business? Do they keep coming? Like, is it something they tell their friends at school that, my mother owns Raintree Spa? Or have they resented it? Have there been moments where they've really felt it's time that you could have given them, that you've taken away from them? Have there been those moments as well?
Never, never, ever, ever has that occurred. In fact, as I told you, they think I'm a little too involved in their life, you know, and that I need to back out now that they're all teens. Even as kids, they never felt that because that was just not the case. I was balancing both. And yes, they are very proud, even though unfortunately I still have to hear it from the two younger ones, but I have heard it from my older one. And I see it in my kids when they go and tell their friends that my mom owns Raintree, and somebody recognizes it and they're like, oh my God, your mom owns Raintree Spa. I love that place, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they feel happiness. I know this because, see, my work completes me and I'm a better person because of it. So for sure, my kids feel that accomplishment coming through.
That's a
They
very
feel
valid
that,
statement you made, Lubna, that you have that sense of self worth and satisfaction from your work. And that,
yeah,
exudes onto the rest of your family. They can feel that happiness in you.
yeah.
Uh,
Not
you're
only
not
happiness,
drawing off
not
them.
only yeah, not only happiness. It's the fact that I know that I've achieved something in life. I know that I am doing a meaningful job. I know that, you know, that sense of confidence that your work gives you, that your achievements give
Yes.
you, and that passes on to you, and that passes on to your kids and your family. So for sure, my kids feel that, and I think that my girls, after seeing me, know that they too will do something in life. You know, when I tell my girls that, I told my kids that, listen, I will never tell you what career to choose. I mean, I want you to do a degree. I want you guys educated. It doesn't matter in what field you get educated in, you know, as far as you're educated. So, and after getting your degree, you can choose to be whatever you want, you know, that will be up to you. So I remember once one of my girls asked me, "Okay, whatever we want to be, are you sure, Mama? Because, you know, are you sure you would be okay with whatever we become?" I'm like, "Yeah, definitely, if you have had your education." And she's like, "So what if I choose to be a housewife?" You know, and I knew it
That's a
was a
good one.
test
That's a
question.
good
I knew it was a test question. And I said that to her, that once your education is complete and you choose to be a housewife, I'll be more than happy. I'll be totally supportive. And she looked at me and gave that surprised look. I don't think so. You know, I don't think you'll let me be a housewife, because see, she's seen me, so she knew you
That's
know,
a role
but
model, right?
in reality, I was being truthful. I don't think there is anything wrong in being a housewife, or you know, the modern terms that are used for it. I think it's perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with it.
Of
But
course.
yes, education is very, very important for me. Education for my kids is very important to me. So so far they are doing well and they are progressing nicely. So I'm happy with it. You know.
So, what have been some of your happiest moments with your family? Funniest, happiest moments that really stand out in your memory?
There are so many of them, Amreen. You know, I have learned in life to get joy from little things, that they don't have to be big things that bring you joy. You know, some of the things that you see in the back, these are the work of my youngest daughter. She is so multi-talented, mashallah. She is an artist. She draws. She plays the piano. She self-taught herself at the trumpet. And on top of it, that she's a great athlete. She is in her football team. She's in her throw ball team.
So you've been the
So,
role model, right? Your mama charging all over the city between your blow dries and haircuts. That's what she's
oh yeah,
got in mind,
definitely,
right?
definitely. Yeah, yeah. I have see if when I saw that my daughter is good at art, she had to go to an art class. When I saw that she has a passion for football, she had to go to KU to do football training. So definitely that has been there. But what I'm saying is that when I look at her, even if we are doing nothing, just the feeling that mashallah she's so far, and may Allah keep it that way, on the right track, gives me happiness, you
That's
know. So
that,
it's the little things and the big things in life. The big things could be the vacations that we have taken together, or you know, the simple things could be that me and my daughter go swimming together, and we are always teasing each other, and she's the one who corrects me all the time and looks at my, you don't kick right, you don't do this right, you don't do that right. So you know, it's the little things in life that I end up enjoying way more than the big things. The popcorn we eat together while watching a movie. The fact now that we are all my kids are at an age that we can almost watch any show together, and they tease me now on my choices. They're like, "Oh my God, you're watching this show? Are you serious? How old are you that you're going to be watching this show?" And I'm like, well, clearly I'm still your mom, so hold on, I still am old, your mom for a few more years, and after that you can become my mom. So it's these things that
yeah.
bring joy to your life. And the other, I think, big thing in my life is that my husband is a huge, huge driving fan, which means that we have taken so many road trips. We have taken road trips across Pakistan, all the way up to Naran, Kagan, and all of that. We have taken crazy road trips in the US where we have driven from the East End to the complete West End, you know. So I think during road trips is when you bond like crazy, because you cannot, if you are having a temper tantrum, you cannot run out of the room and lock yourself in your own room. You are still in that car together, and you have to make it work. So where you have to make it work with your siblings, you have to make it work with your parents, and that really, really brings you closer together. So our car trips have been phenomenally amazing for my family.
That's so good to know. And so, by your own definition of success, what is your definition of success, and how far do you think you've come in that?
Where success is concerned, I think it's self-satisfaction, and definitely I am a champion of being organized, which means that setting goals for yourself, being organized, knowing where you want to be, and trying to get as close to it as possible. If you're going to ask me, do you think I'm successful? I would say no, not yet. That is a destination I want to reach, inshallah. But I know one thing, that I'm on the right track. I am on the my destination, I know, and I'm on the right track towards it, inshallah. But there is so much more I want to do with Raintree. There is so much more I want to do on a personal level. There is so much more I want to do with my kids. So right now I'm at a very good place, a very satisfied place, because I may not have achieved everything I wanted to achieve 100%, but I'm very satisfied with what I have achieved so far. And I think that is definition of success, that you're happy where you are, you're content, and how
You work
that
very
comes
hard
is,
to get here. So
pardon
you
me?
worked really hard to get to do the balancing act. Because I have to say, Lubna, every time I come to your parlor, you look so calm and poised and relaxed. I cannot imagine you going off to pick up kids in the middle of blow dries and haircuts. So you've actually managed not to show any of the stress, and looked completely poised. Is there ever been a moment where someone's caught you looking stressed and has found out that you're stressed? Has this ever happened?
Yeah, unfortunately, my kids and my husband. Definitely. Never
They know
my
what you're stressed.
clients. Never my clients. No. And if they were to hear you say that, they were like, "What? That's
Yeah,
not
you look
true.
so poised.
Mama has lost it enough times." In fact, Amreen, I must tell you that I just had my sister living with me for the last 5 weeks. She was visiting from Canada. She came after 12 years, And one day I was scolding my son, and she got so worried, and she came upstairs and she's like, "Is everything okay? What happened? What happened?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I was just scolding Daniel. That's all." And she's like, "Oh my God, but I've never heard you scream like that. I thought something really bad happened." I'm like, "No, it was just regular scolding. That's it. You know, the regular chanting I give
What had
once
you
in a
done?
while to my kids."
What had you done?
Oh, nothing. I don't even remember anymore.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it was just something very regular. Yeah, I mean, so what I'm trying to say is that I am a human being. I do lose it. But when I'm at work, I have the work face on, because if I look stressed, how can I
Yeah,
relax
how can
you?
you make anyone
You know?
else relax? That's so
Yeah.
true.
And I will tell you that, you have seen my place. Once you enter that space, it is your comfort zone. It does relax you. And as you walk through that pathway between the greenery, and by the time you
Oh,
have
I've
hit
done it
the
so many times, yeah.
yeah. By the time you have hit that fountain right before the door that takes you into the space, you have relaxed, and I have relaxed. And that happens to me almost every day. And finally, when you open the door and the Thanda AC air comes with a whiff of all the beautiful smells, it relaxes you.
That's
So
awesome.
my relaxed face, my relaxed attitude is also my work uniform, but it also is what Raintree does to me.
So you're very well trained yourself, then I can imagine that the 50 people you have working under you, they're getting a great training on how to look equally poised and relaxed at all times. So likewise, if do you have any words of advice for other women who want to be entrepreneurs and set up their own business as to,
Definitely.
some quick
I
tricks
would
of the trade?
I think the first step to it, like I tell my kids as also, is that to choose something that they like doing.
Yes, that's
It
very
shouldn't be
important.
something that, oh my God, I hate what I do. I can't think of doing something I dislike, because then it will become a task in my life. It will become like I will wake up, and like these days I'm learning how to swim. And the days that I have swimming, I'm like, oh my God, no, I have swimming today. No, because I'm learning and I'm struggling. So, it's not something I'm looking forward to. And I cannot imagine feeling that way every single day about your work. I
That's so
cannot
true.
imagine it.
That is so
So,
true.
yeah. So the first thing is that you need to find out what you like, what you're good at. And then the second step is to get the training in it, because that is so important. I literally, Amreen, learned what cuticles are, what is the nail made of, what is your skin
Wow.
made of, besides the fact that I
Goodness.
went and did hair courses, coloring courses. Even though I don't do color myself, I only do haircuts and makeup, but I trained myself knowing that I need to know all of that. I need to know my
That's a
art.
very good tip to
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
the thread.
you need to know, otherwise you will be fooled by your own workers, and might even be fooled by own clients. So you need to know so that you can talk confidently about it. And when you talk confidently about it, you give that confidence to your clients,
That's so
right?
true.
So number two is training yourself. And number three is getting the support that you need around you, your family. It is so important that they are in tune to what you are doing, and what you need out of them, and let them understand what it is that you are after, so that they can be that pillar of support that you require.
So tell me, what has been the source of the biggest fight you've ever had in your life?
Biggest fight?
Yes. Yes. What happened? Big
Uh,
meltdown there. I've had so many
oh,
myself. I'm just wondering what happens with other people who are juggling so
Okay, let
many.
me tell you one thing. I don't have meltdowns. Where I'm screaming and shouting. I do not have those
That's
kind of
so true. I
meltdowns.
didn't think you would.
My
You're so
my
poised.
meltdowns are that I will shut myself in the bathroom.
Oh,
Okay? Yeah, yeah, totally. And or I will go to sleep. I will quiet down. So even in my marriage, if I tell you today, and you will not believe it, but in my 22 years of marriage, we have never had a screaming match. We have not truly ever screamed our lungs out towards each other, because even my husband is that way. It might not be the best thing, because then you're not expressing yourself completely, but in that way you are not saying hurtful things to each other. Sorry.
no, no worries. So
Yeah. So
this is
basically,
pretty good.
Yeah, my meltdowns are the quiet meltdowns.
No, it's good to know because often all of us are doing such a juggling act.
Yeah,
It's understandable, you know. I mean, it can happen to anyone. It's happened to me so often. So
yeah.
it's just so nice to see the human side of this very complex but beautiful and happy life you lead.
Uh,
And it's so
oh,
wonderful
yeah,
hearing that.
my meltdowns happen a lot while driving, by the way. I think the
Oh,
traffic in Karachi can make anybody go crazy. The
I
traffic
agree
while
with
you're
you.
driving, oh my God, the roads and the traffic. Yeah, totally.
Oh God, I so agree with you. I learned to drive recently, like some years ago, and I
Oh
so
my
agree
God.
with you there.
Yeah,
That's
totally, totally.
absolutely right. But so, does anyone have any questions for Lubna? Please do put them on the chat, and we will get some more gems of wisdom from her. Anyone have any questions? Okay, so there are no questions right now. Um, so, what are your? I'm just thinking of Raintree Spa, and what are your future plans for it? Do you plan to expand further? Do you plan to move global? You know, what's your vision now?
Well, the first step would be to move national before we can think of global. But before that, there are many other things we need to do. We have started in our new branch a bit of a section where we do some medical work, and I would like to extend that. Right now, we are doing things like laser, fat freeze, hydrodermabrasion, and HIFU. And I would like to build up on that. I am currently looking for dermatologists that can come on board with us and be in consultation with us so that we can
Oh, that's
develop that
beautiful.
part of Raintree.
And so you, from what you're saying, you're really going into a lot of specialist work. This is not just,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
simple hairdressing. Some of
yeah,
the terms
yeah.
you used, it's beauty, but taking it from a lot of different complex angles, right?
Definitely, definitely, definitely. And that is something I've been building on. The other thing that we are working on is Raintree's own line of products. We have already done a soft launch. We have some face creams, we have sunblock, and I want to build up on a natural line as well since my clients love our cucumber cream, our
Yes, I
scrubs,
love it too.
and yeah, so
Yeah.
we now sell those as well. So these are the two things that I'm currently working on, our product line and building our medical space in our Ittihad branch. So let's see how we go on there. We are underway and talking to somebody for a franchise in Lahore as well. So we are open to giving franchises as well. So these are few things that we're working on. Let's see how this
That's
pan
awesome.
out, how
That's
they
awesome.
work out for me. As I told you, with the three kids, the eldest one hitting university soon, in fact, just in a month or two. I keep calculating that when will my youngest one hit university and I can have completely free time to do whatever it is I want to do. And that's when I will really go ahead and go full steam ahead with Raintree.
Wow. I mean, you've done so much and you still want to go full steam ahead. I love it. What do you
Yeah,
eat to
because I
keep
don't think I
energetic?
have gone full steam yet. I really, because see, for me, it was between work and kids. So it was not me 100% towards Raintree. What I eat is not that healthy, but definitely coffee helps, at least one cup
I
a
agree with
day.
your tea and coffee.
Yeah, totally, totally. And the other thing, Amreen, that really helps is that I do try to have some kind of exercise in my life. I think that really keeps
I
me
agree
up and
with you.
about.
Yes.
And I think that, no matter what kind of exercise you're doing, it helps you focus in yourself and make you feel better about yourself. It is so important that you feel good about yourself. And there, I think the self grooming classes also come up because when you look in the mirror and you like what you see, and if from inside you are feeling confident, then you can face the world so much better. You can face your relationships so much better. You can be a more confident mom, and a more confident
That's
wife.
so true.
So all of that goes into play.
We have some questions here for you, so I'll just read them out. Um,
Okay.
what do your children
I think
Oh,
one
for
of the
what age
questions
did
is
you
about
start to become entrepreneur? That was the first question.
there is no age.
And what age do you
Whenever
recommend for other people?
I think whenever you have a brilliant idea, even if you're 6 years old, go for it. So in that way, I can tell you that my two girls, one of them 19, the other one 13, have their own business. It's called Two Baked Girls. Now that I have time, I can advertise them as well. So Two Baked Girls is doing all baked goodies, and they are doing a fabulous job. I'm surprised. My younger one, in fact, is has been an entrepreneur ever since she
So it's in
entered
your
middle
blood.
school.
Lubna, it's in
No,
your blood. No?
you know what? You need to guide your kids as well. You need to shape them. So if I know that my kids are good at baking, I was slowly and gradually talking them into it. That why don't you give it a hand? It's quarantine. You have nothing else to do. Try it, try it, and eventually, I got through to them, and they did it at their own pace, and now they are hooked on because they got success. So there is no right age as far as you can balance life. So now my daughter, since she's going to be applying for AKU, I told her that this is your last month for Two Baked Girls. Sophie can handle it alone. Why? Because you have to prioritize. So as far as you're handling life and its priorities right, I don't think there is an age for it. And somebody else was talking about grooming as well, that what is the right age for
What
grooming?
is the right age
Again,
to start
yeah,
growing?
because day one. It's day one. It starts from the mother who's teaching their kids that, what is the right things to do. And then it is an ongoing process. So I tell my kids that whether you like it or not, and, you are going to be judged by what you wear and how you come across to a person. That's what I say in my classes as well. That even though as a kid we had been taught that don't judge a book by its cover, that's exactly what humans do. And not only do they judge you, it takes them a whole of 30 seconds to form an opinion about you, at least the first opinion about you. So it is very important that you give the right message across. Everybody's message is different, right? So I might have a different message to give to you through my appearance. You might have a different message to give. So as far as you know that what a person is thinking about you when they see you, and if that is the right message you want going across.
That's so
So
interesting.
yeah, so that what I'm saying is that it starts from day one. You have to teach your kids so that they grow up to be confident individuals, and then they can shape themselves, and of course give them space to shape themselves. As I said, that it's not necessary that my daughter would want to be exactly like me, but as far as she knows what she wants to be and how to get there, that is a mother's job. And
That's so true.
yeah, so it's an ongoing process, and it starts from the day one.
So we have a question here. Any funny stories about your girls trying on makeup? Or you doing makeup for them? Or
Uh,
they doing makeup for you? Or
yes, there are a couple of them,
they ask you
especially.
to do their
Yeah,
makeup?
let me tell you, not makeup, but there are two hair related ones. That my eldest one, who's now 19, when she was in grade 8 and it was summer holidays and she was about to start grade 9, she had hair up to her hip. And she came up to me, and again, I really do think, Amreen, that this too was a part of a challenge because as I think she thought that I'll say no. And she came up to me and said, "You know what, Mama? I think I want a pixie cut." And I'm like, my first reaction was like, I don't think so. You have such lovely long hair. Why would you want to do it? And that's where she took her clue and she's like, no, I definitely want to do this. So
Oh,
yeah, so my second reaction was, sure, you know what? I pick and choose my battles, and I knew that hair is the last thing I want to fight about, So I was like, okay, let's do it. She's like, you're going to cut my hair. And I'm like, no, that's where I put my foot down. I'm not going to cut your hair. I'm going to give you my best girl who's going to give you a pixie cut. And we actually went ahead, and she, from hip length hair, went to pixie. Literally, I mean, she had a shaved neck. But the good thing that came out of it was that we donated that hair to a cancer institute. So that thing came out good. And then my youngest, just about like 2 years ago, she had like the widow's peak kind of a thing on her forehead, and she absolutely hated it. So she thought the way to fix it is to cut her hair right here. So
Oh,
one night she just took her scissor and cut her widow's peak off. When I saw her in the morning, Amreen, I can't tell you, I freaked out. Like, what have you done? And she's like, oh, I cut it off. I didn't like how it looked. And I'm like, you have a mother
who's the
who
hairdresser?
owns a salon, okay? She owns a spa. You could not wait till the daytime to have it done properly. So she had cut it off from the roots, and it took her months to grow out. And in
I
the
don't think
middle,
she
she had
never
like
tried it
spikes
again.
standing up.
So she never
It was
tried it
just,
again, I hope, huh? She waited till the
oh,
next day.
never. She will never do something like that ever again because she went through months of torture to grow them out. So that is, I think, part of life, and part of them growing up and having their own experiences.
So we have another question that how do your children react when you lock yourself up in the bathroom? Will I go totally silent?
Oh, they
I
know
can't
when not to
communicate with you.
cherify mama. They know, okay, right now, you know what, it's better to back off. So they, just like I know them, they too can read me and they
Oh,
will leave me alone. So in
nice.
that way, they are very good about it. They know, okay, listen, right now it's an explosive situation. Let mama be alone.
Wow. So thank you so much. This is so wonderful to not just see how you run your parlor, but all the inside stories from your family and your life that have made you laugh and cry and made us laugh as well. Thank
Totally,
you so much.
totally.
It was such a pleasure. I look forward to meeting you at your parlor. And
Definitely.
yes, and to all those people who are watching, our next show has Ruxana Asgar, who is an HR consultant, and another guru just like Lubna,
Mhm.
who's managed so many things in her life. And these are women we can learn so much from, and they're such an inspiration to everyone. And the fact that they smile every day through everything. Hats off to all of you. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me, Amreen. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure.